Hey guys, I'm back, finally, after like 3 months of waiting, and feels pretty good. I almost completely forgot like how fun and kind of annoying it is to set this up. I've been here for like an hour just trying to get everything set up. You might be able to see the mic like off in the corner here. You kind of notice that in some of these like test things I was doing. But yeah, let's jump right into it, I guess. Alright, so for the tuning for this song, it's the E string goes up one step, or a half step, to the to F. The A string stays the same. The D string goes down to a C, so a full step right there. This is a G, so that's the same. C for the B string, so that's just up half a step. And then the E, the high E, remains the same. I'm not going to go too far into how to do this because that kind of takes a good amount of time, and I'm sure people don't want to hear me rant about how to tune. You could probably find plenty of tutorials on how to do that. Alright, so for this first part, you hold the 12th fret on the 5th string. You mute the 4th string with your middle finger, right there. Use a ring finger on the 12th fret of the 4th string, and 12th on the 2nd string with the pinky. And you play all 4 of those. And pretty sure you slide down to 7, keep that same formation. And then the 5th fret. And then 7 again. And you add those couple of dead notes just before it, because that's how he does like half of his intros. Usually sounds cool though. But yeah, so then after you hit that, you do a dead note, and right after that, you play just these two, the 2nd and the 3rd strings, 7th fret. Then you slide that up to the 9th frets. Then you pull both of those off to open. And then you play 5th on the 3rd string, and 7th on the 5th string with your index and your ring fingers. And you mute the 4th string with the ring finger. So that part is. Then after that, you play a dead note. And I guess you could just hold this as you're doing the dead note, just get ready for it. But it's the 5th fret on the 5th string. Mute the 4th string with their index finger, and ring finger goes on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. So then you slide that up 2 frets to the 7th and the 9th frets. So play it again just after that, and then play it again, and then slide back down. So oh no, sorry. That's down to the 3rd and 5th strings. So, and you play it again after you slide down to that. So, then after that, you play the 4th string open, hammer on to the 5th with your index, hammer on to the 7th with the ring. Then you play the 3rd open, hammer on to the 7th, slide to the 9th, then you play the 7th on the 2nd string, and then pull off. So that part is. Alright, so that's the first half of the intro. I'll go over it real quick, really slow, just so they can kind of get the hang of it. A little bit faster now. Now full speed. Alright, so for the next part, it's pretty similar to the first half of the intro. It starts off with the chord. That's your index goes on the 12th of the 5th string. Middle finger goes on the 12th of the 4th string, and your pinky goes on the 14th of the 3rd string. Then you slide that up to... It's kind of a weird thing if you're using your pinky. You can use your ring finger instead of your pinky, but I just like to use my pinky. But anyway, it's 15th on the 5th string, 16th on the 4th string, and 17th on the 3rd string. Then you slide down to a power chord on the 10th of the 5th string, 12th of the 4th, and 12th of the 3rd. And then you just slide that down to the 7th, 9th, and 9th. So that is... Then after that, you play that same part that comes after the first few chords in the beginning of the song. You play dead note, play the 7th frets on the 4th and 3rd strings, slide that up 2 frets to the 9th strings, or the 9th frets, pull off, and then you play the 7th dead note and 5th frets on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. So, then after that, you play dead note, then the 5th dead note and 7th frets on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. Slide that up 2 frets, play it, and then play it again. Slide down to the 3rd and 5th frets, and then play it again. So. Alright, so after that part, you play the 5th fret on the 5th string, hammer onto the 7th, same string. Then you play the 5th of the 3rd string, hammer onto the 7th again. Then you play the 1st string open. Then you play the 5th fret of the 3rd string again. And then you play the 2nd string open. So that's... So that's most of the intro. It just repeats everything that I've shown you so far, and then there's a small break in between it, and then it goes back to the to what I've shown you, and then repeats it again with a slight change at the very end. But I'll just play what I've shown you so far with the repeat in it, so you can kind of get a hang of it, how it goes. So after that, then you play the 5th fret on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. Then you play the 5th fret of the 4th string, hammer onto the 7th. Do the same on the 3rd string, 5th, hammer onto the 7th. And then you slide up to the 9th. And then you pull off back to 7th. So... Then you play the 7th on. You keep your index on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, but with your ring finger comes over and plays the 9th on the 6th string. And then you play that 7th on the 3rd string again. Play the 6th string again. Then you play the 3rd string again, and use your pinky to hammer on to the 9th and pull off. Then you play the second string open. So up to that, it's... Then you play a dead note, and then you play this chord, which is 8th on the 5th string, 9th on the 4th string, 9th on the 3rd string, and 7th on the 2nd string. Then you play, it's basically that same chord that we started with here, except on the 7th fret. So 7th on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. And you play that twice. And then you play the 5th on the 3rd string, slide up to the 7th, and then slide back down. So. Then you basically repeat the same thing. It's except instead of playing this 5th and sliding up and down, you just play that chord that's 8th on the 5th, 9th on the 4th, 9th on the 3rd, and 7th on the 2nd. So that entire part right there, I'll play it slowly real quick. Alright, and after that, you repeat the intro, basically everything up until that part that I just showed you, starting with this chord. Except the ending is a little bit different. I'll play up to it real quick just so you know exactly where it changes. So right there, normally you would play, but right here, instead, you play the 5th on the 4th string, hammer onto the 7th, then you do the same thing on the 3rd string, play the 5th, hammer onto the 7th, then you play the 5th on the 2nd string, pull off to the 4th, then you play the 5th on the 3rd string, pull off open, then you play the 5th on the 4th again, hammer onto the 7th, do the same thing on the 3rd again. So that little riff right there, it's... And then just after that, you play the 5th fret on the 5th and 4th strings, and you palm mute this. And you play it, what is it? You play it 5 times. And then on the 6th time, you play it again, but you add a 5th on the 3rd string. Then on the 6th time, you add a 5th fret on the 3rd string, slide up to the 7th, play it 3 more times, and then you slide back down, and then you play that chord again, and you add the 4th fret on the 2nd string. And he might have a open E string, but the 4th on the 2nd string and the E string, they're the same note, so it's kind of hard to tell. You could add that in, it kind of makes it sound more open. But that will be the first chord of the next part. And you could watch the next video here or there, wherever I put the link. Anyway, besides that, thanks for watching, and see you next time, hopefully.